In 1943, when Marshall Rosenberg's family moved into their home in Detroit, he was locked in the house at first because people were murdering each other on the streets. Race riots. Also, as a child, he noticed his uncle coming over to take care of his grandmother who was sick and dying. He had a loving, happy look on his face. In school, Marshall would be called names and was beat up because his name was Rosenberg. He decided to become a psychologist to figure this out. And when he began his career, a mentor said, "You won't get answers to your questions by being a psychologist." So he turned his back on that profession, researched how people talk and listen to each other, how they communicate, and came up with compassionate communication, also called nonviolent communication. And for many years, he's been showing people throughout the world how to have a heart connection. After writing his first book, he's written several others, including Practical Spirituality. When I read that book, I took notes because it's a way of introducing people to nonviolent communication. He begins with two questions that he says everyone has in their minds. Everyone asks it. The first one is, what's alive in you? We usually say, how are you? ¿Qué pasa? ¿Wie geht's Ihnen? ¿Cómo allez-vous? ¿Morde? Everyone says it, but that's so superficial. How are you? Fine. What's alive in you puts it in a different perspective. So, what's alive in you now at this moment? If you're watching this with someone, stop the recording and please share that. What's alive in you? Each of you share it until you finish sharing, and then begin again. The second universal question is, what can we do to make life more wonderful? So again, think of something today or yesterday that helped make life more wonderful for somebody. It could be something you did, something someone did for you, or something you saw. Again, stop the show and share with your partner something that helped make life more wonderful for somebody. Once you've finished, continue the show. How do you feel when you think of that? Nothing feels more enjoyable than contributing to one another's well-being. Then in this book on spirituality, we hear something surprising. Let all I do be only, no one's guessed this one except for one person. What do you think it is? A four-letter word. Let all I do be only play. That is willingly contributing to life, not for rewards or to avoid punishment, not out of guilt or shame or duty or obligation. Let all I do contribute to life, enriching my own and others' well-being. His words for God were divine energy. But after thinking about it for about 10 years, he came up with Abba, beloved divine energy. Now the whole of our world is filled with domination structures. Families, schools, corporations, nations. Some people have power over others. Those in power use punishments and rewards. They're incentives. We usually ask, what do I want you to do? But nonviolent communication isn't power over, it's power with. The question we ask is different. What do I want your reason to be for doing what I want you to do? Is it for the natural joy of freely contributing to another's well-being? Everybody pays when we do things because we should, have to, must, out of guilt, shame, obligation, duty, or to get rewards even. Then everybody pays for it. The key purpose is to connect with other people, and thus with divine energy, in a way that enables compassionate giving to take place, giving freely from the heart. Well, this is very challenging for a lot of people. They're discouraged. But he says, take heart. It can take time for this divine energy to work. Marshall says, beloved divine energy spoke to me and said, connect. Help other people connect. Let me take care of the rest. Trust God and relax. The heaven I gain from knowing God is this inevitability. When we get in touch with each other's divine energy, we'll enjoy giving and we'll give back to life. We'll like where it gets us. All we have to do is connect with each other's needs. Violence comes because of how we've been educated, not because of our nature. For 8,000 years we've been taught to enjoy violence. We've also been taught that humans are basically evil and selfish, and that the good life is about heroic forces crushing evil forces. In almost every movie, TV show, novel, short story, religious stories, and virtually every video game, the good guys beat the bad guys violently. And we cheer. It's as if violence is water and we're fish swimming in it. We don't even know we're wet. We're numb to it. And we perpetuate it. Not only with our stories, but the very words we use. Our language reinforces this. Just imagine giving up the following words: right, wrong, good, bad, selfish, unselfish, terrorists, freedom fighters, and justice based on deserve. And on that last point, America's penal system is retributive, not restorative, redemptive, or corrective. Imagine never saying or hearing those words. Violence is impossible when we're connected with the divinity within each other and ourselves, and we'll enjoy what happens. But what if the other person doesn't know nonviolent communication? He says, and this is a request, not a demand, never, never, never hear what other people think about you. Never take it personally. You'll live longer. You'll enjoy life more. Instead, connect empathically with a message, seeing the beauty in the other person at this moment, regardless of that person's behavior or language. Connect with a person's feelings and needs at this moment, with what's alive in him or her. You'll hear the beautiful song coming from the other person's soul. So just imagine you tell your friend Pete, "I'll be there at 10 o'clock. You show up at 10:30. He says, "You worthless piece of crap. You got no character. You got no respect. You were lazy. You were late. Get out of my face." And you say back to him, "You're really angry and upset because you value promptness and honesty. And I did say I'd be here at 10 and I came at 10:30. And you'd really appreciate it if in the future, if I tell you I'm going to be here at a certain time, I'll be there exactly then." He may say back to you, "That's exactly what I said." You didn't say that at all. You responded to his feelings and his needs, and he validated it. He didn't even know about nonviolent communication, but it works even if the other person doesn't know. Now, if I mentally try to understand you, I'm not present with you in the moment. I'm sitting there analyzing you. I'm not really with you. Empathic connection means I'm connecting with what's alive in you now. It means I'm really with you. It doesn't mean I feel your feelings. That's sympathy. It does mean being with you with your feelings and needs. Nonviolent communication can be explained in a minute. Oh yeah, it takes a lifetime to learn. And that's why we have a practice group meeting every week. The key is practice. First, say nothing in judgment or diagnosis or labeling. Then there are 4 steps. First, this is what I observe you have done, the way a TV camera would view it. This is how I feel, because this is the need I have that isn't being met. And this is my request, not a demand. So how can you tell a request from a demand? It's not so much how you say it, although that's very important. It's what you do when the other person doesn't do what you requested. So that's it. Say nothing in judgment. Observation, feeling, need, and request. Honest observation without evaluation, without implying wrongness or rightness. I can let the person know what needs I have that are being met by their behavior and what needs aren't being met, and how that makes me feel. And I can do it without judging or diagnosing or specifying how my needs should be met. Then I can make a request of how I would like the need to be met. Well, ironically, I say that's it. That's all there is to it, as if it was easy. It may not be easy, but it can be done with practice. Marshall ends his book, Practical Spirituality, by saying, I need to know whether my attempts to contribute are successful. Is my intention fulfilled by my action? I'm not looking for thanks or love or approval because of what I'm doing. I just want to know if my action is enriching life or meeting your need. Please tell me. I welcome all feedback, positive and negative.